Hi everyone, it's Marc de Bruin from simplifyinglife.com.au. As we're approaching the end of the year, it's Christmas Eve 2019 as I make this little video. I just want to run past you a quick explanation and some insight on behavior change. We're coming into the time of New Year's resolutions and all sorts of interesting things that we're going to change in 2020 and how we're going to do our lives better and all that sort of stuff. The question I want to address today is why is it sometimes so hard to get ourselves or people to do something differently, that apparently is better for them, that you think is better for them? Or why is it so hard for us or other people to stop doing stuff? Well, there's plenty of reasons behind that, obviously, and it goes too far to discuss all of them in this video. But one of them actually has to do with the motivation for change and how that motivation can actually influence us to not do something that actually is good for us, or to keep doing stuff that's actually not so good for us. And it's part to do with our brain. Our brain is evolutionarily old. It's had millions of years of programming into it, and some of that programming is actually now part of our biology. It's just the way it is. Now what you see when it comes to behavior change is that people often try to motivate behavior change by saying, well, you should do something different because what you're doing is not good for you, or you should stop doing something, and if you do that, then I'll give you, a reward. And technically that actually goes against our biology. Our brains are wired in a way, research suggests, to be more sensitive is the word, for rewards when it comes to new behavior, and it's more sensitive to punishments when it comes to stopping old behavior. Now that sounds a bit cryptic. So the simple version is that if you want to make people do something different and you want to increase a particular behavior, whether that's in business or in personal life, then you're actually better off trying to motivate that to these people by sketching them the benefits, sketching them why their change is going to be good for them, or asking them why it's going to be good for them and let them think about it themselves, or giving them some sort of reward as a sign of goodwill for them making the change. So if there's something you want people to do by, or not by, if you want something to be done, or if you want people something to do, then them actually doing it is very much dependent on whether there's a positive reward for that. Our brains are very sensitive to that. If there is a reward, if there's an anticipation of something getting better, then we are more inclined to keep a particular new behavior up. And it's an approach mechanism in our brain. It's the go system in our brain. We think it's going to help us, we think it's going to give us pleasure, we generally tend to do it. Conversely, if we're trying to stop something, say you want to help someone to quit smoking or to quit drinking, or in business you want to stop a particular type of behavior that's not good for the business anymore, brain-wise, neurobiology-wise, that's a tough word, it's actually smarter to help people understand why their current behavior is not serving them, or why there will be a penalty on this behavior occurring, or why it's actually not such a good idea to keep this old behavior up. Again, from a motivation point of view, from a neurobiology point of view, our brains seem to respond better with the no-go system when we can see that there's a negative effect to what it is that we are currently doing. So cut it really short and summarize it, because I'm not going to make this video too long. It takes too long to explain all that. If we want to stimulate new behavior in a way that we'd like to see it, whether it's in personal or professional lives, then offer anticipation of reward, an immediate reward even. Immediate rewards are better than long-term rewards, and that's got something to do with the law of distribution, but we'll talk about that another time. So you want to change behavior for the better, you want to have people do something that you think is better, offer a reward for that doing them. And that could be as simple as keeping a scoreboard, actually give them a physical gift, or promising a gift down the track, but also something immediate now, maybe a level of praise, or maybe an award. Kids work really well on awards. There's a chance that based on our neurology, neurobiology, that this person will actually instigate that new behavior and keep it up. Conversely, if you want people to stop doing something, or if you want them to get away from a particular behavior, or actually to do nothing at all, then it's better to sketch them the downsides of whatever is happening. To sketch them how they're continuing to do so will affect them negatively. That will then trigger the no-go parts of our brain that foresee a threat, and threat is potential pain. We don't want pain. There's a chance that we'll sit back and do not act at all. Now, that's very academic, and I understand that. If you want to hear more about it and want to talk more about it, have a chat to me. But just keep in mind that our brains very much work on rewards and punishment, pain and pleasure. So if you try to help someone to not drink as much anymore, if alcoholism is a problem, by offering them a reward for doing so, then you're probably not doing the right thing. Or if you're trying to get someone to behave in a more healthy way by doing exercise or whatever, by telling them how not doing that will actually affect their health negatively, then that's not a good idea either, technically, because you go against that process that takes place in the brain. That's the go, no go system. So keep it in mind, and if you got questions, feel free to ask. Always available. You know where to find me: Facebook, email. And if you got any comments, let me know as well. Happy to answer any questions. And that's it probably for this year, or at least before Christmas. And I will talk to you soon. Cheers.